Hi all, Hal here with more ARK Survival Evolved, and yeah, I just was out and about. As you can see, I had just killed a small Spino with Fluffy over here, and I guess I found a wild 112 pterodon. Got lucky with the shot. He was taken off, and I was able to. I shot a little high, dropped him, and we're in the process of taming him. So I am using the kibble. I still have like 28 more kibble and a bit more narcotic. I'm just waiting for it to kick over, and then we'll be good to go. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update, and yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. So basically what I'm going to be doing at this point is just some resource gathering. I needed a lot more stone. Basically what's going on is I've run out, or I'm pretty close to running out of spark powder, which is a bad thing considering I have a lot of things that are in my preserving bin. And while, yes, I do now have power at the base, I don't really want to be producing large amounts of gas because the oil is still a fairly precious resource for me. So I will be getting to the point where I am harvesting oil more regularly, because I do want to start building bases a little bit further north. I'm looking for a place to build, because this base here, while it works really well and the location is actually really great for the access to the different types of dinosaurs, I do need more space, especially now that I have the two Spinos. I've got an entire fleet of pterodons. And what level are you? Speaking of pterodons, I seem to be just collecting these things at this point. But I really don't need anything below a level 100 at this point. I know that sounds kind of elitist, but I now have two that were, base leveled over 100 when I tamed them. So what I'm trying to do is get them a little higher level so that I can start actually breeding. Because I don't know if you know or not, with breeding, so right now we've got the difficulty and the levels of the dinos set to maximum, which means your highest natural dino will be a level 120, because I'm not running any type of additional mods or anything on the server that allows you to get above the 120 range. So at 120, if you use the kibble and you get what's called the perfect tame, basically 100% or the 99.9%, depending on what your server settings are at. And why is all my ground clutter turned back on? There's something going on with ARK with not saving settings right now. But yeah, so what happens is that you can get like another 60 levels or something like that, 59 levels from the taming modifier, and then you can actually go out and earn up to another 55 levels, I believe. So you can end up with a dino, that's like almost 300 level. And you see some of the bigger YouTube channels where the guys that play ARK constantly, all day, every day, they actually have dinos that are in the mid to the high 200s. So I'm not trying to compete with them. I would just like to be able to try it, because I think that the breeding is actually a really cool concept in the game. The one thing that I have run into with it, though, is that you have to be able to spend a lot of time with the dinos. Let's see here. We want... How much can we get in there? We'll take that out. Put that in. And what we're going to do is we're going to craft all of it. It gives me nothing for XP, so I'm not going to really worry about sitting here while it crafts. I do want to take this out. I want to put that in. And we've got like another 45 or 46 ingots to craft down. And while the spark powder is crafting, excuse me, So yeah, so while the spark powder is crafting, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to take Vespa, who is our newest addition to the Pterodon clan. Actually, I need to get rid of some of my extra materials. Let's just... yeah, like I said, as you can see, we are starting to run into space issues. Part of it is because the base was never really designed for, especially for having, you know, 2 Spinos here. So what I really need to do is to start scouting some areas for new bases. Let's see, what do we got here? We got some cooked prime, we got our kibble, we got a little bit of spark powder. So we've got enough right now to allow us some pretty good leeway on the whole timing thing. Nothing in there, okay. So what I am going to do, like I said, I think I'm going to take him out, maybe gain a couple of levels with him, increase his weight capacity a little bit, and then just start boosting the heck out of his stamina, because I want him to be able to fly pretty much anywhere. And I know there should still be a little bit of metal over here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing some gathering, and yeah, we'll be right back. Hey y'all, and we're back once again. So I have been doing a little bit of just mining, picked up a bunch of stone. I've got about another 122 on me. The spark powder is pretty much done. I've actually started making some gunpowder now so we can increase the number of bullets. And what I'm going to be doing is, because I can now make the tranquilizing darts. Excuse me. So what I'm planning on doing is making a second long rifle. And what I will do is I will color code them so that I know when I'm using the dart and when I am using the bullets. It's a trick I picked up from, I think it was Slipgator actually did that the first time. It was the first person I saw do it like that. But I've seen that it works really, really well because, you know, as long as you remember which one is which, you don't want to be using the gun if you're not intending to actually kill the thing you're shooting at. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. There we go. And now we'll put that over there. Okay. So that should actually give me enough to build a couple of things that I'm wanting. Let's move this stuff around so that it makes it a little easier to find what we're looking for here. And I want to run that out first. Okay. Let's go throw this over here. Do I have it over here or did I not? I don't know what I did with it. Let me see. Did I leave it in here? No. A little bit of a pause there. Okay, so what I did actually do is, I'm looking for it to see if I can find it now, is I actually made an RG saddle. Now, the catch is I don't remember where I left it, so... so I'm looking... Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, I did end up making the saddle. And what I'm thinking is that once I actually start making the trank darts, we're going to go RG hunting. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that in this episode or not. We will see how it all actually plays out. But yeah, I do want... Let's see. I still only have the primitive long neck. Okay. I do want to start making the trank darts. So I'm going to need a lot of spoiled meat. I'm going to need a lot of berries. And we're going to be making a lot of narcotic. So... because that's actually not a really fun thing to watch, even in time-lapse, because all I'm going to be doing is going up the hill and taking my trike with me, so. Oh, speaking of, let's, I want to go ahead and let's get rid of most of this. So what I'm going to do is actually watch my own weight here to make sure I am not overloaded. No, okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Mr. Atlas, and we are going to have him store all of this stuff. And yes, I saw that there were some seeds in there, and I will probably come back and get rid of them at some point. But this way I can actually maximize my my trike's inventory. And we are going to go... Okay, he's got got food. And what we're going to do is the only thing we're worried about is keeping narco berries. So, on that note, I am going to... you know what? Yeah, we'll do it for a while. Because I wanted to talk to you folks about what's been going on with ARK, and I do... Whoops. I do want to take a minute to thank everybody, because the support on all of the episodes, not just ARK, but even like the 7 Days to Die and Empyrean, all of that is greatly appreciated. And I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to leave the likes, posting the comments, as well as the subscribers, both long-term and new-term. Thank you, seriously. It's appreciated, and the more that I see that you enjoy the content, the more of it I'm making, and hopefully you're seeing that I do appreciate it as well as I am enjoying it, and just having the ability to share the experience with everybody is, it's a lot of fun for me, so thank you. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this stuff. But yeah, what I wanted to actually talk to you about was one of the things that I was touching on earlier. I don't remember if it was this one or last episode. It may have been last episode, but I think it was this episode. When you are trying to build the Behemoth Gate, right? Let's go over here and take a look at this really quick. Whoops. So the Behemoth Gateway and the Behemoth Gate both now have a crafting requirement of 750 stone, wood, and thatch, as you can see here. What that equates to in your carry weight is basically between 360 and 370. Since you start out at 100 weight, you're only gaining, if you're boosting weight, you're only gaining 10 weight per level. So you're talking about close to, 25, almost 30 levels of your potential 88 level cap going into a single stat. Now, that's not a problem for me because, that's what I was planning on doing anyway. So where I run into it, though, is that it seems like to me, it feels like it's taking a little bit of the freedom away from players. When it was at a half that weight, it was still restrictive enough that for most people, unless you're playing on a modded server, that's still a lot of resource to gather, because you're talking, it's a dedicated effort at that point, and that's fine. I don't mind the dedicated effort. If you're on a modded server, the 750 is still, doable. It's very easy. Like, I have my resources turned up to, I think, 2.5 on this server, or on my single player. And what it really comes down to is just what is it you want to achieve in the game. And if you've got a particular idea of what you want to do, having to dump, a third of your potential levels into a single stat takes away some of that freedom. I mean, if you did not want to have wooden thatch, that's always a good thing to have. If you did not want your character to be, able to lift half the world, you shouldn't be forced to do that. I think I would really like to see the Behemoth Gate, specifically the Behemoth Gate, but anything with an excessive, anything that requires you to have more than, say, a 250 strength, right? If the resources that you're carrying require you to have more than 250 in strength in order to carry it, to craft it, I personally think that it should go into one of the benches. Oops, oh well. It's not like I don't have more of them. I'll keep the seed, because you never know. Oh man, I just did it again. I'm not even doing it that fast, so... There we go. Of course, I am just, throwing them mostly away anyway. Alright, now we're going to take those. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one stack. I need about 4 times that amount. Alright, so let's keep going. But yeah, like I was saying, it just really does, to me, feel like the developers are either really trying to severely limit the number of these things being used, because you do have some really prominent people on YouTube where they've built their entire base out of the Behemoth Gate because the resources were so easy to get. Increasing the limit, or the max of the resources, really doesn't take that away. Because if you're playing on a server where you can build your base out of 300, when it was the 350 stone requirement, 750 really isn't going to stop you. Having that weight capacity will, but even then, it's like if that's what you want to do, I mean, why not let you do it? Let's see here. We've got these up, those up. Actually, let's pull out all of the seeds that I want because yeah. Some of these seeds some of the plants you can only get from seed. So what I want to do is to make sure I'm actually keeping all of those. Alright, is that any more? Should be some more, yeah, okay. And, thatch, okay. So, you come up here, you come up here. Is there any more down here? No? Oh! I hate that. Okay, so. It rescaled on me, so I ended up dropping some stuff that I didn't want to drop. Yeah, see? Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, is I understand that from a development and design perspective, you have an idea of how you want your game played, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's the people that are playing the game, that are also paying your bills. And I think that I'm not sure if it's something that was really well thought out. Well, I shouldn't say that because I mean, obviously, it was very well thought out. They did it with very specific intention. I just not sure that was necessarily what I would have chosen to do. But again, I'm not the developer of the game, even if I do work in the industry. But like I said, it's their game. They're going to do what they want, and that's fine. I accept that. But yeah, like I said, it was just kind of a surprise because it wasn't mentioned anywhere in the notes that I could see. So I may have just missed it, and if so, then it's not really an issue. Well, even if I didn't miss it, it's still not really an issue. It's just me complaining about the fact that I now have to be able to carry a lot more weight than I want it to be able to carry. So I'm going to stop complaining about it. Okay, let's see here. We are about done with this episode, I think. So the rest of this is just going to be me basically continuing what I'm doing right here, which is gathering more resources, because we do need a bunch more of the narcoberry. And speaking of, let's go ahead and move these up, and move these up. So I've got excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, I do have about enough for a little over 2 stacks, almost 2.5 stacks of rotted meat. So that's going to give us about 2.5 stacks of narco, which is good. And then we're going to go ahead and start making the trank darts. And when we come back next time, I think we're going to go on an Archie hunt. All right. So, as always, folks, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button on the way out. If you have any comments or feedback, that throw it in the section down below each of the videos. I do my best to get back to you, but if I don't make it in a timely manner, I apologize. It really is. I just ran out of time. Nothing personal. Let's see if I can get back in. Okay. If you haven't done so already, and you may want to consider subscribing, because it does let you know when new episodes come out, as well as when I do anything on either Twitch or YouTube. And for everything else, there's a comment section down below. So thank you all again for stopping in today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. And yeah, I hope to see everybody at the live stream on Friday, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. U.S. Pacific time. And as always, folks, take care. Be safe out there.